Hello students, in the previous video we had seen the different kinds of prepositions, and now in this particular video I am going to discuss with some important use of prepositions. So in the same reference I am going to discuss a very important preposition, and that is include here in. In is a preposition, and here is the uses of the particular preposition. The first use of the in is it is used before the parts of the day, month, year and season. In it is used before the parts of the day, such as in the morning, in the afternoon. These are the parts of the day. Month, such as January, February, March. These are the months. Year, 1947, 1948, etc. And season, different type of seasons, such as in the winter, in the summer, etc. So we can use the particular preposition in before the parts of the day, before the month, before the year and before the season. To know more about this rules, we have to see some important examples related to the same topic. So here is the example. The first example is he will come in the morning. He will come in the morning. Here the underlined word in is a preposition which is used to show the parts of the day in the morning. And the second example is India got freedom in 1947. India got freedom in 1947. Here in the same example, the underlined word in, it is used to show year 1947. So students, we can say that we used preposition in before the parts of the day, month, year and different type of seasons. And here is the example related to the same topic. And the next use of preposition in is it is used for the motionless condition. It is the preposition. It is also used to show motionless condition or condition at rest. For the example, the students are in the class. The students are in the class. Here the underlined word in is a preposition which is used to show the motionless condition, that students are in the class and they are still at rest. So we can say that in is used to show the motionless condition. To show the motionless condition, you have to consider the underlined words. And here the next use of preposition in is it is used for big cities, states and countries. It is used for big cities, states and countries. For the example, such as she was born in Mumbai. She was born in Mumbai. Here the underlined word in is a preposition and it is used for the major city Mumbai. So we can say that in is a preposition which is used for big cities, states as well as for the nations or countries. So these are the some uses of the preposition in. And now I am going to discuss another important preposition on. The next preposition is on. And first of all, it is used here is the first use, and it is used for the surface contact at rest. On is a preposition which is used to show the surface contact at rest. Surface contact at rest. At rest means without motion or without movement. For the example, the pen is on the table. The pen is on the table. Here the underlined word on is the preposition which is used to show the sense that the particular thing is on the surface contact already. So we can say that on is a preposition which is used for surface contact at rest or without movement. Here is the next use of the preposition in, and that is it is used before day and that. also used before the day and the date. For the example, he was born on Monday. He was born on Monday. Here the underlined preposition on, it is used before the day Monday. So we can say that on is the preposition which is also used before the day and date. And this is the important use of preposition on. And here is the next preposition which I am going to tell you, and that is up. So what is the use of up? And here is the detail about it, and that is it is used to show, upper direction. Up is the preposition which is used to show the upper direction in the sentence. For example, upper direction without contact. There is no contact and it is used to show the upper direction, such as hands up. Here the underlined word up is a preposition which is used to show the upper direction without any contact, without any surface contact. So this is the preposition number 3, and I am going to tell you the next preposition, a very important one, and that is upon. Upon. So what is the use of upon? Here is the first use of upon, and that is it is used to show. It is used to show surface contact with motion. Upon is a preposition which is used to show surface contact with motion. And on is a preposition which is used to show surface contact at rest. There is difference between on and upon. On is used to show surface contact without motion, and upon is used to show surface contact with motion or with movement. For the example, put these books upon the table. Put these books upon the table. Here the underlined word upon is the preposition which is used to show the surface contact of book on the surface contact of the particular thing with motion. So we can say that upon is the preposition which is used to show surface contact with motion. Here is the next example related to the same topic, and that is put these spoons upon the slab. Here in the same reference, the underlined word upon is also the preposition which is used to show the surface contact with motion. And here is the next one, the fifth preposition, and that is at. It is also very important preposition which is used in English grammar, and that is at. So the first, you have to know the first use of at, and it denotes a definite point of time. At is the preposition which is used to show definite point of time, like time of clock, exact time of the parts of the day, such as evening, at night, and names of the festivals, such as at Christmas, at Diwali. These are the names of the festival. So we can say that at is the preposition which is used to show or denotes the definite point of time, such as the time of clock, exact time of the parts of the day, names of the festivals or the celebrations, such as Sneha goes to school at 8 a.m. Here the underlined word at. It is used to show definite point of time. It is used to show definite point of time. So we can say that at is used to show or to express or to denote the definite point of time in the sentence. And here is the second use of the same preposition at, and that is it is used for small places. At is the preposition which is also used to show the small places, such as he lives at Moana. Here the underlined word at is a preposition which is used to show a small place like village, etc. Moana. So we can say that at is also used to show place which is smaller in its size, small places. So here is the uses of the most important preposition at and the related example to the same topic. And now I am going to discuss the sixth preposition, and that is between. Between, it is used to give the sense of the middle with the two persons or things. It is used to give the sense of middle with two persons or things. Between is used to express the sense of middle between two persons or things, such as for the example, Vaishali sits between Neha and Ruby. Vaishali sits between Neha and Ruby. Here the underlined word between, it is used to show the middle point between two persons, Neha and Ruby. So students, we can say that between, it is used to give the sense of middle between two persons or two things. Here is the same preposition like the sixth one, and that is among. And what is the use of among? And here is the detail about the particular preposition, and that is it is used to give the sense of middle, more than two persons or things. Between is used to show the sense of middle with two persons or things, and among is used to give the sense of middle more than two persons or things. You have to consider the underlined words, more than two persons or things. For the example, distribute these sweets among the students. Distribute these sweets among the students. Here the underlined word among, it is used to show the middle point between the middle point with more than two persons or things, that is students. So we can say that among is the preposition which is used to give the sense of middle point with more than two persons or things. And here is the at preposition, a very important one, and here is the detail about the same preposition, above. Above gives the sense of vertically higher than. What is the use of above? And here is the detail, and that is above gives the sense of vertically higher than. And the particular sense, in this particular sense, the surface of both the objects are not in the contact. Above gives the sense of vertically higher than, and in the same reference, the surfaces of both the objects are not in the contact. For the example, to know more about this particular rules, we have to see some more examples related to the topic, and that is, the first example is, the sky is above our head. The sky is above our head. Here the above, it is a preposition which is used to show the sense of vertical, higher than, and there is no surface contact between the sky and the head. So we can say that above is the preposition which is used to show the sense of vertical, higher than, and there is no surface contact between the two objects. And here is the second example in the same way, and that is, the waves came up above her head and she started screaming. The waves came up above her head and she started screaming. Here in the second sentence, the underlined word above is a preposition which is used to show the sense of vertical, higher than, and there is no surface contact between the two objects, waves and her head. So we can say that the above is also gives the sense of vertical, higher than, and there is no contact between the two objects. So students, these are the some important prepositions which is used in English grammar, and you have to watch all these very carefully. And this is the third part of the preposition, and you have to wait for the remaining part of this topic in the next video. Okay, students? Thank you very much.